Have you ever had a bad experience with doing a refill on acrylic nails? That's one thing. But doing a refill on a overlay is a totally different ball game from anything else. Let's get into the truth about these overlays for my natural nail girlies. Doing a refill on a overlay is slightly different, not in the refill aspect, but in the reshaping aspect. But a refill on your natural nails is just you filling in that little space real quick, real simple. Now, some people might prefer this over getting the acrylic nails because if you want the length, you would get the acrylic nails. But if you just want to maintain your natural nails, you would just get a quick acrylic overlay, and it's just going to be a hard layer over your natural nails. Therefore, you don't have to worry about them breaking or cracking in the process. Because like myself, I tend to use regular acrylic nails as a way to get my natural nails to grow out so I could do an overlay. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but I like to have my cute little short overlay and it'd be real cute. So that's really good, especially if you have really brittle nails. You could just get you a quick little overlay, and honestly, getting the overlay will strengthen your nails. It depends on how you take it off now. It really depends on how you take it off. Now, you can't be getting an overlay and then complaining that your nails are still breaking if you're ripping them off. You have to get you a proper soak off, and it can strengthen your nails. In order to maintain the integrity of your nails, especially when having an overlay, you have to have your proper application so you don't have to worry about lifting, having a fungus under the nail, breaking a nail. So let me explain this to you. Now, I will have my video linked where I go into deep diving into detail about the proper application at the end of the video. So make sure you stay all the way into the end of the video to get that link to that video. So to all my beginner nail techs struggling with finding clients and all my old nail techs who are getting a little burnt out with doing nails, check out my free guide to learn how to get passive income down below. Therefore, you won't even have to do all that work when it comes to the filing, and your filing needs to be seamless also to prevent any of that lifting. As you saw at the beginning of the video when I was filing her nails, y'all, I didn't even have to file or lift up anything because as I was filing it, there was really nothing to lift up because she didn't have any lifting. That's because of this proper application that I have, especially when applying the acrylic. So when I apply my acrylic, I seal the cuticle as I'm applying the acrylic. And by doing that, that's going to make everything seamless. It's going to make everything easier for you. You're not going to have to worry about doing all that extra work, especially when it gets towards the end. So with sealing a cuticle with the acrylic, you want to lay the bead down close enough, but not too close. Close enough to where the bead will basically seal itself, or you have room to push it up and kind of fan it out and thin it out right by that cuticle so it can look as seamless and flowy as possible. Now, sometimes the acrylic does the work for me. Like if I lay the bead down and if you point the finger down while you're doing this, it's going to automatically seal, and all you have to do is blend the back part of the bead. Now, your client's nail bed does depend on how seamless the bead actually blends, because my client here, she has beautiful nail beds to where you're just able to tuck that thing right on underneath there and everything is just fine and good to go. When you get that acrylic all nice and tucked into bed, what's the next thing to worry about? The next thing to worry about is the body of the nail. Analyzing the body of the nail to make sure you don't have any acrylic chipping, it's not too much thinness, because you can tell if the acrylic is thinning or not. Because you could see it could kind of be a different color from the regular acrylic, or you could tell it's going to be like a little see-through, or you're going to see the natural nail coming through, because the natural nail is always a different color from the acrylic. The natural nail kind of have like this yellowish, light brownish undertone to it, so you could tell the natural nail from the regular acrylic. Now, if you see the natural nail through it, you know that the acrylic is having some type of thinness to it, and you want to fill that in to prevent any breaking. Because if your client bumps their nail or breaks their nail and their nail is very thin and fragile, that can damage their nail under that overlay. That overlay ain't gonna hold that nail into place if they break their nail. So to prevent the amount of breakage your client gets, you want to make sure you fill in that thinness and look at the nail from the side and make sure that the apex is still there. Now, you want the apex to be very seamless on any nail. You don't want it to look like they have an apex. You want it to just be seamless. The apex is just there so the nail has that extra thickness to it and in that stress area. Your stress area is right at the tip of your nail, or you can say in the middle, where your nail and the tip, the artificial tip, meets. That's where the apex is going to be. Now, the difference is from the apex from the acrylic nail to an overlay is most of the time natural nails already have a natural arch to it. If you look at a regular nail, somebody turn their nail to the side, you're going to see a little hump unless their nails are just completely flat. Now, everybody's nails is different, but if their nails already have that little hump, you want to watch it, because if you put an apex there, the hump might appear bigger than what it actually is because their nail already have that arch there. Well, my client here, she has that arch. So it's kind of like I really have to be very particular to not build that apex up too much because it can look crazy like a mountain. The success to doing all these techniques is it all comes down to the products that you use. Now, you want to make sure you have you a good Kolinsky brush, and you want to make sure you have you some good acrylic and some good monomer, because if that's not good, none of this is going to go good. The brush that I would recommend is a Pana brush. The size that I'm using now is a size 10. I have different sizes in the Pana brushes, such as I have a 18, a 16, and I have my 10. My 10 is like my go-to. My 16 was my go-to, but I noticed I was like, I have control, but I'm not comfortable with it. I would rather use a smaller brush that I'm comfortable with and I'm able to control my bead size than have a bigger one that I'm comfortable with, but not really. Like, I'm still like over here risking it a little bit. Your brush has to be crimped. That's what's going to be able to give it that seamless look that you're able to like tuck the acrylic right underneath that fold of the nail, as if the brush is crimped. If it's not going to get the job done. It's not going to look right. So, but most of the Pana brushes come crimped that I know of. Some brushes you have to go out and get them crimped, but I would prefer the Pana because you don't have to do all that. And when it comes down to acrylic, you want to go with Young Nails, Dynamic, or Valentino. Valentino, I feel like dries very quickly. That's why I tend to kind of stray away from Valentino, but it's still a good product, but that's the only thing you have to watch out for when you go to use it. Now, this is where it gets a little rocky, a little shifty at, is the filing. Now, with filing regular acrylic nails when you're doing a refill is smooth, easy peasy, because the only thing that usually be wrong with acrylic nails is the sharpness may have like worn off and became dull. You might just need to clean that up a little bit. When you apply long acrylic nails or even short, most of the time your client's nails are short. You want them to be shorter. You don't want them to be too long, because the problem is if you apply the tips to long nails, water can seep under there and get through that space in between the artificial nail and their natural nails, and they can end up getting a fungus. So you kind of want to cut the nails real short. But the thing is with with your overlay, the natural nails is basically like sealed, glued down to that acrylic. If you have the proper application, you will not have to worry about it lifting up or anything like that. But if it does, you're going to have to go under there and cut that part of the nail out and wait for it to grow back. If your client is not willing to soak the nail all the way off and just do a whole new nail, they can do that. Or if you see the part is lifting up, you can catch it early before the water is even able to seep underneath there. You could just go ahead, take your drill. They have a little special drill bit that you can use to get the nail from underneath there, or you could just take your little cuticle nibbles and clip that. But the thing is, you have to make sure you don't pull it up too much, because if you pull it up too much, it can cause the whole nail to lift, and that's what you don't want. You just want to clip that little part that's lifting and wait for it to grow back, and you don't have to worry about any of that. The filing, when the natural nails grow out, some people's natural nails tend to grow at a they kind of hang or arch downward. They don't grow straight out like how the acrylic is. So I know people's desire is to grow their nails as long as possible when having an overlay, but you can't grow it out too long, because if you grow it out too long, they're going to start to slouch and hang over. Have y'all ever seen that lady? I don't know, I forgot which show she popped up on, but she grew her nails to the longest they could go, and they started curling. That's basically what your nails do when you let them grow out for a long time. They start to curve under like that. So it's kind of like with filing them, you really have to fix it. You have to angle your file at a position to where it's straight, so therefore when the nails start to grow in that downward spiral, you can just lift it up with the file and have your file at a 90-degree angle, not downward with the nail. You want to have it right under the nail, so therefore when you go to file, it's going to straighten it out and give the illusion that the nail is straight. Now, you are going to have to deal with that same problem over and over again, especially when you're doing a refill, because you have to think about it. Acrylic is something abnormal to the nails. It's something that's not supposed to be there. So if the nail is used to growing down and that acrylic is on top, it's oh my goodness, what's going on? I'm just going to continue to grow down. It's not going to grow straight out with the acrylic. No, it's going to grow the way that it naturally knows to grow. You just have to make sure you relay those concerns and those messages to your clients, because most of the time your clients don't be knowing. They're just there to get a service and make their nails look cute and go on about their day. So if you don't tell them these things, they don't know. If you don't be hey, we might have to cut your nails down a little bit unless you want them to curve downward, unless that's the look you're going for, unless you're fine with that. But the only thing with that is it can put you at high risk for your nails to break off. And then you're going to have to start this process all over again, trying to grow it out, trying to get it even, unless you're just willing to add a tip on it. And most of the times when people get overlays, they don't want to add a tip on there. They just want to have their natural nails. To make sure that you're maintaining the integrity of the natural nail underneath the acrylic when filing, this 5-in-1 bit is going to be your best friend. Make sure you get the safety one, especially if you're first starting out, or even if you've been doing nails for a long time, because I'm the type of person, I've been doing nails for a long time. And when I first started out, I was trying to use the without the safety ones. I don't know what you call them, but the ones with the sharp tips. Now, I was using that and I noticed I would be cutting myself up, cutting my clients up. I was oh no, because I thought, okay, the sharp ones, you're able to get it done faster. But no, you're not. So when I purchased this 5-in-1 bit, it just made me feel so much more comfortable with sealing a cuticle, because I used to be terrified to seal the cuticle, shaking in my boots type terrified. And that would make me tend to overfile the people's nails, and you really don't want that ring of fire, because then when your client goes and be okay, I'm done with the overlay, I want to soak it off and wear my natural nails. Now they have a ring of fire. Now they might have to wait for their nails to heal and for that to go away. So to prevent all that is what I was talking about earlier, sealing the cuticle with doing your application. So therefore you won't have to question yourself, and you won't have to go over your nails that many times. You could just already know it's already sealed. Once I go over it this 2 or 3 times, the nails is good. You don't want to have to keep going it over and over again. Trust me, it is sealed. Now, what I'm just doing now is roughing the nails up a little bit, because my client, she just wanted top coat. She just wanted to rock it all natural. So I was okay, I just give you a cute little top coat and you can go on about your day. If you guys have made it this far in this video, I want to thank you guys so much. And do not forget to check out my free guide down below for the passive income for my nail techs. You can take your talents and your experiences and your skills on a whole nother platform and make some passive income. So go ahead and check that out. Selling your own digital products. Good thing is it is all done for you. I have set everything up for you so you don't have to go through the stress of making it from scratch. During this video, the key points that I wanted to make sure that y'all can go back to watch if you want to rewatch the video is the breakage, lifting, application, because that is an important part in the breakage and the lifting, and plus maintaining the nails. And the top one is your products. Your products is going to make this whole process easier for you to achieve the best, the strongest, the most long-lasting nails that you can for you or for your future clients. And talk to me down in the comments below about y'all experience that y'all ever had with getting a refill, or have you ever thought about getting an overlay? Because most people, they're used of the acrylic nails but not really used of an overlay. Fortunately for me, I have dealt with both of these to where I'm able to give y'all this experience and tell y'all these tips and tell y'all what not to do and what to do. I love to hear other people's stories and other people's journeys, or even their struggles, so I could feel like we're here, we're together, we're family here. Because when I be going through all those struggles and all those trial and error moments, trying to get my craft perfect and down pack, I be feeling like I'm the only one in the world who's going through this. And I'm like, trust me, you're not. Calm down. You're being dramatic. You're not. But it's nice to be able to share this with people, share my experiences with people, share my struggles, and help y'all out in y'all journey, so y'all wouldn't have to go through all this. Like, this is not fun. It's not fun, not one bit. Now, the fun part is once you get it down pack, you are good to go. But y'all won't have to go through all that, because once you subscribe to the channel, I'm giving y'all all the gems and all the tips that y'all need, so y'all wouldn't have to go through that trial and error phase, and y'all could just skip over to the fun part, because that's what we're all trying to get here, the fun part. Being able to experiment and enjoy what you do, that's like the best part about doing nails, especially that like experimenting process. It's like, ooh, what should I try next? This, that, this. And I love to do that on myself or on my clients if they allow me to, because some people, they just like to stick with what they like to stick to. But then some people, they give you the freedom. They tell you, oh, I don't care. I love those clients. I don't care neither. Now let's have fun. On your way out, do not forget to check down in the description down below, where I have all my gems listed for y'all. Y'all know I got y'all all the time. Go ahead and check. This is the final product of her nails, and make sure y'all come back and come visit me. I'm gonna see you guys in my next one. Bye.